Hey, what's going on? But I play the game of Rust, if you guys don't know, and my power supply is actually going out in my gaming machine, and I got to switch it out. But if I'm not playing a game, it doesn't run hot. But I don't know if it's going to run hot running the recording software and running the streaming software to stream to you guys. So I don't know. The fan's not ramping up the RPM, so I either got to take it apart and fix the fan motor or just put a new power supply in it, which I'm probably just going to put a new power supply into it. Anyways, dealing with lowballers is actually, it's give and take because you don't want to upset some, but most of the people that are lowballing are doing the same thing that we're doing. They see an iPhone, like there's some people that go through and just offer for every phone they see. They just offer a price for it. So when they see an iPhone 6, they'll put $50, and you're trying to get 200 out of it, and you're like, well, that's a low ball. And it is. It's the same thing I do. I go on OfferUp, and I'll just sit there and offer every single one. If I get one or two a day that way, that's one or two more phones I didn't have. And usually I get people that tell me to F off. I get people to say I'm a low baller, all this. And sometimes if I have time, I'll sit there and talk to them. People like, I refurbish phones. I sell them worldwide, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, that's the reason. You're not just trying to get a cheap phone. I'm like, no, I can sell it quicker. And especially on the phones that've been up there a week or longer, I really do try to go after them phones. And that's how I do it, and then I expect to get low ballers when I do a sell on them type of sites. I don't sell on OfferUp. I don't. I buy on OfferUp and I sell on LetGo. I know it sounds weird, but LetGo is a bigger app in my area. More people are there, and so I sell on that one, and then I go on OfferUp because I know not as many people use it, and my logic is not many people are buying off there either. So if they're just selling on OfferUp, I might be able to get a better deal because it's been sitting there longer. And I buy a lot more stuff. But I do get, like, I had a guy just today. He's seen my stuff on LetGo. It was an NES. People think it's the only NES I get. So I post Mario Duck Hunt with a gun and a controller and all the stuff for an NES. I sell it for $50. And he's like, will you take 30? I said, no. I sell it for 50. He came here, offered me 30 again. He goes, well, dude, it's just an NES. And I'm like, well, I have, 13 to 14 more ready to go. I sell them all the time. And he was like, oh, and it just changed his attitude knowing that I knew the value of what it was. And he gave me my $50 and off he went. It's really weird. Just like someone, they pick up a gaming machine off of me. I agree on the price beforehand, but they still say, hey, I only got $1,600 when it was supposed to be $1,800. If that happened, I'll be like, well, it's $1,800. I could take this video card out and put that video card in, or we could swap processors or something like that and lower the value of it to get you that $1,600 package. And most of the time, I would say 95% of the time when, someone's lowballing me on that type of thing, they're going to say, no, I want that. I have the money. They're just trying to save a buck. And then the super low ballers are people just like you and me. They're all over. I guarantee I'm not the only one in my area that does this. I guarantee you're not the only one in your area that does this. You might think you are, but you're not. There's tons of people out doing it. There's tons. And they might not be posting on ads on Facebook Marketplace. They might not be posting ads on OfferUp. They might not be posting ads on Craigslist. Their way might be just when the phone is listed, they go after them and lowball them. And they're getting their 1-2 phones a day, and they're satisfied with that. And they sell them phones, and the next day they do it again. And then the next day they do it again. So they're flipping, 5 to 10 phones a week. They're making themselves an extra $500 to $1,000 a week, and they're happy. And once that person gets to know that you're not going to do it, or they see you have a lot of phones, they'll stop. Another way I deal with low ballers, if it's not someone that's going to be flipping stuff, let's say phones, because this is a big time phone flipping page that I got this on. I just grabbed a freaking screen. But let's say you have an iPhone 7 up and you're asking $350 for it, and someone offers you $250, and it's a customer. It's just someone that wants to turn it on. You know more about that phone than they do. You can sit there and say, it's clean, it's unlocked, it's this and that. You can test it. I can meet you if you have to. $100 is worth going to meet somebody. in my opinion, at the AT&T store or the Verizon store. I've done it, and I don't like doing it, but I've done it. I had someone sit there, and they wanted an iPhone. I forget what it was last week. Had to meet him at the Sprint store, whatever the phone was. He says, I've been burnt too many times. I went to the Sprint store, and I literally walked in, and the manager goes, hey, Gary, how you doing? And I'm like, hey, they knew who I was. That's another way to do it, is build relationships with people at the carrier spots and the pawn shops and the thrift stores and all this, them type of place that's going to get phones and other things that you're going to be buying, and you're going to be the one that they go to. People are going to know you. Like the AT&T store locally knows me very well, and I tell people, just mention my name, take the phone in, they'll know it's good. They'll just take care of you. They know my phones are clean, and I give them. Now, the reason is I'm very, very big on separating the stuff. And once you get known in your area for flipping good stuff, for selling good products, and your phones aren't getting locked a month later and all this other stuff, that the low ballers tend to go away. You still get them, ignore them, move on. You're going to have a buyer. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And that goes into something else. I always ramble. I always go on. People are telling me that they get stuff, locked a month later, and it does happen. It does. There's nothing you could do about it. The lost and stolen thing, unless you've got the bill of sale. I've had it. Now, Sprint gives me trouble all the time, even though I know the manager. They give me trouble all the time for unlocking phones and all this, everything. They're like, they don't want to do it. But AT&T seems to be the easiest for me locally. Verizon's pretty easy because they don't lock phones. But lock phones, when I say when they're paid off, they're unlocked. I've taken bill of sale into like AT&T and says, hey, this was lost and stolen, and they've helped me. I haven't got them all unlocked that way, but I have had it happen. Now, iCloud Lock is a different thing. Oh, my God. I don't even like dealing with iCloud Lock. You can look at my past videos. But the bill of sale does come in handy with stuff like that sometimes. When they report it lost and stolen, you can go to my wife sent me a video. You can go to AT&T. They've helped me. Now, not every single time. Don't think you got that bill of sale, it's a golden ticket. It's not for that reason. It has helped me, though. And we were talking about, the finance thing. I mean, I had people, no joke, down where they said, I have an iPhone 7. It's financed. I want $200 for it. I'm like, well, it's financed. It's $200. No. I'm not going to give you $200 for a financed iPhone 7. I saw iPhone 7s around $250, $325 around me for the basic 32 gig or whatever, But I've also had where they only owed one payment, like $32.85. So I'll tell them, well, how much do you owe? And they call me, they owe $32. I'm like, well, let's go meet up at AT&T. Let's go meet up at Verizon. I'm going to pay off the phone. I'll give you $100. And then it's not going to be on your credit. It's not going to damage your credit. Now, it is a rarity. Some people don't give a shit. Some people just don't care. Then other people, they're like, oh, you'll do that for me. We go there, and then they call on the phone, and then they pay it off or whatever they have to do. Certain times they have to call in to pay it off. Certain times they can do it on the website. AT&T kind of makes it easier. Metro PCS is a pain in the butt. Sprint's a pain in the butt. But it can happen, and sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it is. And sometimes they don't even know. They call like, I only owe $100 on this. Sure do. You can get a lot more money out of it if you did have it paid off, but it's not paid off. I'm going to give you this. Let's go get it paid off. So it all works in together. It's all about relationships, guys. It's all about people relations. It's all about customer service. From lowballing to getting what you want out of it to return customers. When you're selling local, now when you're selling on eBay, customer service is this. Oh, it didn't work. I'm going to return it. That's not, people are like, oh, I have the best customer service on eBay. I mean, it's not really hard. You pack a thing really good, you ship it out, you make sure it worked beforehand, and then if they don't like it, you return it. I mean, it's not hard. In person, it's customer service. It's all about who you are and what you do. If the person trusts you, the more people that trust you, the better. Because I'm going to tell you something in customer service that's going to help you out tremendously. If you make a person happy, they're going to tell one person on average. One. But if you make them mad, they tell 10 on average. Seriously. And then they got 10 mouths going around talking bad about you. And then them mouths talk. It spreads like wildfire when you're bad. When you're good, they tell one person. That one person may tell another person, maybe. And you're like, well, what's the worth then? Because once you start taking care of, you got one person telling another person, and it goes. Well, when you do bad, if you're a jerk, if you're lowballing people, if you're not friendly when you meet them and all this other stuff, it snowballs. It just does. But lowballers are easy to deal with. You keep to what you know it's worth. You don't have to do accept them. You can say no thank you. I say no thank you a lot. I always reply to them. I get some people that tell me, well, I buy and resell phones, and all I have to do is say, so do I. And that's usually the end of the conversation. Sometimes they'll say, well, what do you have? And then maybe we could do some trades. And it does work out. If you could build a relationship with another flipper where it's like you're not working side by side with them, but let's say, I don't know, you can make a sales for an iPhone 7 and they got an iPhone 7 and you can go check it out and it's clean. You can make a quick $50 flip, go give it to a person and it's $50 to you. It might work out. Business is built off relationships and relationship with your customers. But lowballers, I say no, thank you. Move on, because if you're asking 300 for something, they're offering you 100. It's a rarity they're going to come up with that 300. I do leave myself wiggle room. That's another thing, but it's never that much because I know my son phones are going to sell. That's what we talked about yesterday too, where people say don't count your eggs before they hatch. If I put a phone up for $300, I'm pretty sure going to get it. I'm at the point right now in the last week, I have not listed anything in the last week and a half. Nothing. I have to list today. I have not listed anything on eBay. I have not listed anything locally. It's been all this cold calls. That's all it's been. Now, I do have ads up, so don't get me wrong. They're old. And if you guys are posting ads, once they hit that, there's a wall that you start slowing way down. You post an ad, and it just starts slowing. You get, like, the first day is, like, tons of people. Then the next day it's a little less. I'm at that where it's like, oh, wow, I'm getting 2 or 3 calls from that one ad. And it sucks. But I also get people that highball me. That's something else I want to talk about is highballing. I know it's a weird word, but I had this yesterday. Let's say, oh, they got this video game, and it's worth $50. You can sell it on eBay for $50. $50 after fees is $5 off of it. It's going to take $3 to ship it. So you're looking at $8. So you got $42 you can make off this. So that's how I do it. I'm like, this is going. If I can sell it for $50, it's going to cost $3. So I got $42. I got to get my profit out of $42. And they go, I want $80. What? It sells for $50, and that's when I go on my spiel. Now, if they said I want $100, I kind of just like, I don't even want to waste my time. But if it's close, they say like I want $68. I'll say, hey, look, they're selling for $50. eBay fees and everything else is going to bring it down to $42. And I didn't even talk about PayPal fees. That's our 2.6%, to tell you the truth. But I'm like, you're looking at, I'm going to sell for $42. And I'm the one that's got to guarantee it. I'm the one that's got to warranty it. I'm the one that's got to worry about the return. And just go from there. And that type of person, I'd end up paying like $15 to $20 for it. But the high ballers are the hardest ones to deal with sometimes. They think their stuff's worth a fortune. Give you another example. This remote goes to a DVD player that I bought yesterday. It's worth like $90 ship. So $90 ship, it's going to cost me like $16 ship it through FedEx. And I'll put it up. I'll lose $9 to eBay, and let's just say $2 to PayPal. So I'm looking to lose, like, let's say $30. So I'm going to make $60, and I paid $5 for it. If he was at $50 for it, it would have been the right value, but not the right value for me to make money. And some people call that highballing too, like, oh, they're asking way too much. Well, they're technically $10 under what it's going for. And people go, well, this is at a garage sale. You can't get mad at people doing their own research. So what I do in them cases, when people highball like that, and I call it highballing, but I'm not mad at them. It's at market value. It's not like $200. It's at market value. I'll say, here's my card. If you do not sell it, I'd be very interested in it, but not at that price. Now, I only get back, out of when I give cards out at garage sales, I honestly maybe 2 out of 10, and that's lucky. Seriously. And sometimes it's months later. I'll get someone to call me up and go, "You do computer repair, right? You were at my garage sale 2 months ago and you wanted that one thing and blah, blah, blah. But I got a computer broke." Oh, okay. It's really weird, but I do hand out my card all the time. You can order cards off Vistaprint. It's like $20 for 500. I print my own. I got a laser printer, so I just print my own. And then sometimes I put different designs on it. Sometimes I do ones just for computers. Sometimes I do one just for video games. It's weird. I mess around too much. And I talked about that wall on the thread. I talked about a wall I hit, and I got to get more organized. I'm at a wall, and everyone hits walls. And I got to get over that wall so I can get to the next level. And it's taking me some time. It's taking me some time. Like last night, I did nothing except for play Rust, and my computer was burning up. And I'm a computer tech. You ever hear of the mechanics like everyone else's card run great, but their own card runs like crap? Same thing. My power supply is going out on it. I got to change that out, and it's a very simple fix. But I guarantee what I'm going to do after this video is I'm going to put a Netflix show on, and I'm going to repair stuff. Because I just got another phone in. And I started taking it apart. Here's a cover plate, and here's the phone. This one here, I just got that in today, and the screen was out on it. It wouldn't power on, and they said, oh, I plugged it in, and it would vibrate, and then it wouldn't. And then I was like, what? So I gave $5 for it. It's iPhone 6, 6S. And I think the charging port's out on it. I honestly do. I can't get it to charge right. So I'm going to switch out the charging port and see. It could be, I don't know what's wrong with it. It could be junk. All I know. Once I start diving in, I put a good working screen that I know works on it. It still doesn't do it. I don't know. I don't know yet. It could be a battery, but it could be a rabbit hole too. I could change the battery. I could change this. No, you're saying, well, you only paid $5. Well, put a battery on it. My time to go in it, my charging port, the time to go in it. And let's say that screen that came with it was broke. That time to go in it. And it just could turn into a rabbit hole, and a rabbit hole is something you just toss to the side, put over here, and you mess with when you got time. So lowballers, don't let them lowball you too much. Don't have to take them. I really got to get fixing stuff. I've been lazy all morning. I just did some sales, and I did 3 fixes. That's it. I am lazy. It's already 1:30 here today, and I was up at, I think I woke up late. I think I woke up at 7:30. I'm lazy today. As you see, haven't shaved, nothing. That's another cool thing about being an entrepreneur. Yeah, I mean, I'm just chilling today. So I will talk to you guys soon. Keep the flip real. And remember, the sky's the limit. You guys control your own destiny. You guys control your own fate. Don't worry about what I make. Don't worry about the next guy makes. Go make what makes you happy. Flip what you like to flip. There's money in everything. If you like video games, go after video games. If you like tools, flip tools. I just talked to another guy this weekend when I was out garage selling. All he does is flip tools, and he's a doctor. He doesn't need to do it. He likes to do it. The guy's a freaking doctor, probably making 6 figures easy. And he goes out garage selling and buys tools and sells tools on eBay. And now I got some people contacting me online. Oh, it is a text. Oh, they went to the park. I see. I see. My daughter went to the park, and they sent me a video. But a doctor. So what I'm telling you guys is, don't be, if you're happy with what you're making, go for it. Stay where you're at. Sit down, relax, enjoy life. But you never can get in top of the ladder by sitting on your ass. And I've been sitting on my ass this last week, and I don't feel good about it. And I need to get going and getting stuff done. I have a Facebook page, a business page. I do nothing with it. I don't have time. That's why I keep telling myself, I got to make time. I literally do nothing with it. I tried, post every day, and stuff just sold too quick for me. I'm not trying to be cocky. It just sold too quick. I post, I'm like, oh, it's already gone. Shoot. And I would just get messages. I would have to tell people I don't have it. I don't have this. I don't have that. And I felt bad telling people that I don't have it. So I need to change that. I need to figure something out. I pay for, I think it's a Shopify store for my Facebook page. I don't even freaking use it. I think I pay $9 a month or something. I'm telling you guys, I'm a firm believer you got to spend money to make money. I'm a firm believer in that. If you don't put it in the middle, you cannot win it. I'm a card player too, but I haven't played cards in over a year. But except online, I shouldn't lie. I play online, but I haven't gone to a card room. So I need you guys to know you need to spend money to make money, but spend your money smart and keep the flips real. When I say keep the flips real, be honest. Don't snowball somebody. Don't rip somebody off. If they tell you, if you go to a garage sale and you see $100 game for $1, buy the $100 game for $1. But if they bring it out of their house and you know it's a $100 game and they're like, I kind of want $50, don't blow them off. Say I'll give you $1. You know what you're gonna get. You know you're gonna sell it. Maybe you don't want to spend the $50. Maybe you want to spend $30, but pay up to make your money. Okay. My firm belief is this: if I go into a garage sale and it's labeled $1 and it's worth $100, they should have did their research. I'm buying it for $1. But if I ask them, do you have anything that you didn't think about bringing out, video game related, computer? I go through my list and they're like, oh yeah. And they bring it up. I feel obligated to offer them a legit price. I'm not going to say $1. I feel obligated because they didn't have that out. I didn't have to give them an opportunity to research it, nothing. So I'm going to give them a legit price that I'm going to spend. Okay. That's how you build relationships. So then you got mouths on the street saying, oh, you got that. I know a guy that buys that stuff. You might give them your card or your phone number, and 4 months later they call you. Be ready for it, guys. Be ready for it. I got a buddy on YouTube. He's a lot bigger than me. His name's Pete. He goes by the Craigslist Flipper. Yeah, Craigslist. Yeah, I almost said thing. I just know it's Pete. He says always hustle, and he doesn't mean hustle people. He's always hustling, getting going, and he talks about building relationships. People. To give you an example, he has a YouTube video out just recently that he loaded up his whole trailer with a bunch of stuff. He forgot his money. The person trusted him so much, he let Pete drive off to go get the money with all the products, and Pete went back to pay him. That's building relationships. The guy trusted Pete enough to let him go with the truck and a full merchandise to go get the money and come back because they knew who Pete was. That's what you got to do. That's how you're going to make it. That's the difference between making $50,000 a year and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Is building relationships. I don't care what anyone else says. I do not care what any big time flipper says over there that's, saying it's all about this and all about that. It's about relationships. It's all about relationships. And if you have good relationships with people, you're going to make it. You're going to have that person to turn to for help. You're going to have that person to help you appraise stuff. I can appraise some antiques. I'm not an antique dealer. But when I go out, I have a handful of people I can text on my phone saying, look what I found. What do I got to look for? What's the value? And it's done. They're helping me make money. Now, they're going to do the same thing when it comes to electronics and stuff like that. They're going to send me a text and say, hey, Gary, I found this receiver. What is it? I'm going to say, hey, that's a 1984, blah, blah, blah. It's worth this or it's worth nothing. That's what I'm going to say. Now, sure, they can get on their app and go on to eBay and check it all out. But they're going to get an honest person's opinion for someone that does electronics daily. Now, I've been told a few times, too, that, oh, you flip phones. I don't just flip phones, guys. Phones is just a small part of my business. Phones are such a small part of my business. I do computer repair, cell phone repair. I sell computers. I literally, I got it. I just dropped the controller. I got to get this fixed up today. I got to do this. I mean, I got to order a battery for it. See that battery, how it warped? They were wondering why it wasn't holding a charge. This battery is a piece of shit. But I'll put $13 into this one, and that's what I paid $20 for yesterday. I got my thing fell. This is off my computer because I'm trying to keep that power supply cool with a fan. It's about relationships, and it's about doing the right thing, and it's about listing, and it's the hustle, guys. It's the hustle. So, guys, keep going out, keep doing stuff. I got a video title I was going to do today. But Jason had told me something that says, hey, do a video. He wants me to do a video about real estate. I'll talk about real estate a little bit. Buy cheap, sell high. It is so hard to real estate. I'm telling you guys, I know there's people out there say real estate's easy. To me, it's not easy. I would struggle. I do struggle. I have flipped houses, and sometimes they're money pits. I don't know what to look for. I just don't have the mindset. I got to learn. I got to get the knowledge of that yet. But you go into a house and you pay $30,000 for it, and then the repairs end up being $80,000, and you got $110,000 of your money tied up, and you sell it for $125,000. That's hard for me to do. That's a lot of money to have tied up. And then you got permits and this and that. It's a lot. It takes a lot of time. It's not as easy as sitting back like this, meeting someone for a phone, meeting someone for a computer, bringing it home, fixing it, listening on eBay or listening locally and meeting somebody. It's like it consumes you. That's why a lot of single people, someone like me that doesn't have a team of people under me to help me, it'd be really hard for me to flip more than one house at a time. It's so time consuming. I don't know. I could be dead wrong. I might be doing the steps wrong. I could be. It's a different ball game. It is a total different realm of world. And instead of talking about people in flipping world that has thousands of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars, you're talking about flippers that have millions of dollars, and they're out there and they're flipping houses, and you're going in with hundreds of, let's say $100,000, you're going to be eaten alive. That's just what I'm thinking. This is what my thought is. It's a different world. I would love to do real estate, but if I did real estate, I'd do it full time. If I was big into it and I was good at it, and I would drop all the phone flipping, computer flipping, everything, I would just do real estate. I know my limits, and that's my limit. I don't know. I don't want to tell you guys something that it's like it's wrong. And then if you're going to get into rentals, you got stuff like you got to have money put aside where if a furnace goes out, you got to go put that furnace in. You got a time limit. I mean, every state has different laws, but then you got deposit rules. And then if people move out and they leave their stuff, you got to hold it for so many days before you can even get rid of it. Literally, like a person can totally move out in this my state, totally move out, leave all their stuff. I have to move the stuff out, put it in storage, or leave it in the house. I couldn't rent the house then. Move it in storage, pay for storage, and hold their stuff for so long. And then I clean up the house. Now I can take it out of their deposit, but and I know cleaning up the house after that and paying for storage is going to be more than the deposit. Now I can go after them for that, more money, but it takes a lot. I mean, it's chasing. And if they didn't have money to pay rent anyway, how are you going to get the money to do that? I mean, it's just it's so much trouble. I mean, honestly, if you get a renter unit and you have people that live there for 5-10 years, you count yourself lucky. That's why some people can't do rentals either. It's just, oh my God, it can be a rabbit hole. It can be a rabbit hole. Oh my God. So I'm probably not the best person to talk about real estate. I try. I can do cars, but again, that could be rabbit holes too. You buy the wrong stuff, it turns into a rabbit hole. You're putting more into it than it's worth, or you're selling something that has a tire rod end out, and 2 weeks later, tire rod end blows on somebody, and they're trying to sue you. I know that's not the way it goes, but that's what goes through my head. It could happen. That's what goes through my head. If I sell a computer and it breaks, I can just replace the damn computer, and whatever. I fix the computer. It's not going to get in an accident or something. I mean, there's so much stuff that goes on. So I'm going to really get going, guys. This is a 29 minute and 26 seconds worth of video already, and I get rambling. But remember, don't worry about the low ballers. Tell them you're not going to take that much. Tell them what say the lowest I'll go is this. Don't let them get to you. Who cares? And the high ballers, I have more trouble with the high ballers. People thinking their stuff's worth $1 million, and trying to get them to come down a little bit. And I usually get that with iPhones and vintage video games. Them are the two things I get high ballers on. But I'll talk about that some other time. I am out, guys. I really got to get some stuff listed today. I will talk to you later.